flowers are in the way. Hello, Mr. Wyroth, the flowers are in the way. Welcome, we're back again for this week's edition of the Reggie and Henry show. And I realised something, that although it's Father's Day in Australia, we're the only two countries in the world that are actually celebrating Father's Day today.
Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah. And everybody else in the whole world celebrated 3 months ago.
Yes.
Why? Do you know why it's Father's Day in Australia and New Zealand?
Because we're clever.
Oh, is that what it is? So you've just alienated about 40. Not a problem. How was your week?
Wonderful.
Yes. What did you get up to?
I went to the synagogue as usual.
Yes.
Right.
Lots of reading. Oh, by the way, I had breakfast yesterday with Elise and Anthony, and I was quoting the book from the chief rabbi of England. What's his name?
Jonathan Sacks.
Jonathan Sacks. Okay, cool. So, so you had a busy week?
Very busy.
But did you have that procedure this week as well? Was that this week as well?
As well, but I'm going to have another on the 9th of this month.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll take out
all the stitches and everything.
Stitches.
But you bounce back really well, don't you? So it was a procedure. My father had a procedure. They found something on his foot, and they took it off, and you just bounce back like anything, don't you?
Look, I don't think about it. I take my medication.
And you move forward.
Move forward. I've got good doctors, good country. What else do you want?
So it's attitude.
Yes.
Attitude.
Oh.
Absolutely attitude. So anyway, everybody else in the rest of the world that celebrated Father's Day on June 16, 2019, Australia has just caught up. So an interesting thing though, because so today we're going to do a little bit about our understanding of Father's Day, its relevance, because after all, the book is called The Stories I Told My Son. So we have to look like we actually get on or have some kind of communication.
Yeah.
It's not just for show, is it?
Not easy.
Not easy. Do we get on?
Marvelously well.
Marvelously well. Not just for camera.
No.
No, that's true. I will concur with that. So today we want to just go a little bit to the new approach to Father's Day, which I've been doing a little bit of reading on. And then I'm going to ask you some questions about what is the role of being a man, women's roles who have got the single families, and they are both the father and the mother. All different machinations. Are you ready for a great show?
Absolutely.
By the way, what's happening in the world right now? Better not to read the news, right? No, really.
I told you before.
Yeah.
I pick up a newspaper.
Yeah.
I read the sports section.
Yeah.
And the comics.
And that's unlike you, isn't it? Because you used to go
look,
disasters, right? We don't want to know. I read a lot of this stuff. I do.
Anywhere you touch in the world, they're fighting one another, killing one another.
Does it remind you of the feeling of how it was in the Holocaust? Before the Holocaust, that build-up of stress and tension?
Absolutely.
It does?
Yeah.
And so has the world learnt anything?
Nothing.
Not a thing?
Nothing.
Are you disappointed by that?
Of course.
After all that?
After
So, it was interesting because I was having some really amazing conversations with people this week as well, because it's helping us formulate the book, the memoir, which we're actually pitching on Monday. So it's going to be a momentous time for us here in Australia. We're pitching for publishers, and the message resoundingly is it's throwing your rock into the pond, let it ripple, your own world not only has to be contained and retained and strengthened, but you have to raise your voice nicely when you've got things that you don't believe are happening that are right. Because if we were all silent, what happened when you were silent during the Holocaust?
When I was silent, you got killed.
Right. So you had to. So exactly. So that is our thing. So we're not going to delve into the news this week because there's just too much going on. But we will say that you have to really, really fortify, know your values. Obviously, try and go with them, but always be kindly verbal when it comes to things that you support.
Absolutely.
And you believe that is important.
Absolutely. Don't hold back.
Don't hold back. So there was a lady who was actually an extraordinary woman. She's actually an activist. She's a early child development activist. I'm just going to look up my notes. And her name is Dr. Ruby Scarlett. And Dr. Scarlett, just before Father's Day here in Australia, was very vehement, very strongly contesting the name Father's Day. And I think it's a very interesting thing for us because we're writing our memoirs, right? And it's the stories I told my son, but not everybody has a father. Not everybody's father is alive. Not everybody's situation is like when you were a young boy, did everybody have a father?
Yes.
Everybody had a father.
Yes.
Unheard of not to.
Unheard.
And so today, if you think about it, right, just to call it Father's Day is very, very, very restrictive. So basically, it's not just fathers, it's women who act as fathers and mothers, single parent household, same-sex households, people who are not even in a marriage situation legally, whatever, however you want to call it. So I actually like the idea of Special Persons Day. What do you think? You don't like it, do you?
I was brought up
Conservatively.
conservative Father's Day, and I believe in Father's Day.
Do you know,
Right.
it's so interesting
You
though,
know,
because,
look-
hold on, I haven't asked you a question. My father's got notes in, he's dying to start with the notes, but can I tell you something interesting?
Yeah.
Seriously now though, it's interesting because you're such a forward-thinking man, but on some things you're so conservative. I'm really surprised.
Because it's inside me. I can't
You can't
change.
pretend, you can't pretend.
I
But you can
can't
acknowledge at least that
acknowledge, yes, but
it doesn't come honestly from you. It doesn't come from your heart.
No.
Anyway, so I actually, obviously on the other side of what you think, and I actually really believe it should be Special Persons Day. But you are not just a special person, you're my father as well. And that's special enough, aren't you?
And how?
I think the one thing I also want to say is on days like this, it can be really hard for people. Like it's like, Christmas, Easter, whatever, when it's not always the best situation that comes to the fore for people. Father's Day all around the world is very commercialized, right? So what about the people who have lost their fathers, or they've got acrimony and they are negative about their fathers, or they don't know enough about their fathers, or they're arguing with their fathers? So these kind of holidays, I think, are really important to be kind and sensitive and inclusive. That's why I actually think Persons Day, Special Persons Day, is really important.
It's important, right? Look, Father's Day is Father's Day, but things change.
Yeah, that's right.
Things change, and you've got to go with the flow.
And I tell you what, so when you were a young man, a young boy, in Shanov, were there any cars? Was it mainly horse and cart?
Yes.
Horse and cart and cobble street stones?
Yes.
And did the whole village have electricity or not?
No.
So the whole village didn't
Yeah.
so was it all
But
candlelit?
I got news for you.
What?
There was no Father's Day.
And there was no Father's Day, because every day was Father's Day. But comparing from when you were a young man to now, obviously it's a different world,
changed.
completely.
It's a different world.
Right, I agree with you. So anyway, it's a very interesting process. By the way, we're up to writing the next chapter. So we did the rabbis and the riddles with the memoir. 2 books, by the way, the stories I told my son. And then the second book is going to be called The Questions I Had to Ask My Father. So that's going to be a longer edition. But the bottom line is this. I'm now up to the very first chapter. So we do it in different order. And the first chapter is actually called Reality Bond and a Ray of Light. And I have to tell you that I'm living it while I'm editing it, because you're the memoir man and you're showing me your stories. How do you feel about the process so far?
The process is going well and accurate what actually happened. Because if I tell you something and at night I might think to add or to take the time, I adjust it.
Absolutely, you adjust it. And also, you do something which is essential. You have a pad of paper next to you, and you write it all down.
Because I forget it in the morning.
From my perspective, I'm glad I did a law degree, because I'm applying the discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to do what I'm doing. The other thing as well is, however, it's not just accurate, but what I think we're able to do is convey the emotion, the feeling, the whole thing of how it was. Where it's going. My father's like, okay, now to the questions. Are you ready for your questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on. Don't read them out before I ask you the question. Otherwise, people will know that you're going to read them out before I ask the questions. All right, Reggie? All right, Reggie. Drum roll. What's it like being a father, Reggie?
It's not easy to be a father, but you've got to have patience,
Patience, yes.
tenacity,
Yes.
strength,
Yeah.
good health,
Yeah.
go with the flow,
Yeah.
and keep up with the current situation which you in.
So that's theory. Do you think that you've put that into practice?
Absolutely.
How patient have you had to be with me over the years?
You answer the question. I was
I
patient.
think I'm really easygoing. No.
Yeah, I was patient. And how was I patient?
I said to you while we were doing the memoirs. I said to you often, because when we got to the part of the memoirs when I was a young man before I was bar mitzvah, I said if I had been you, I would have thrown me off the balcony already. Your patience has been, but you do have to have patience. But at the same time, you have to be current. So things change. You've changed along the ways, haven't you?
I changed. I changed, but not drastically.
No, the value's always the same. So that's number one. Okay, number two. What is the secret, though, of being a good father? What's the secret of it?
This is the easy question answer. Every child is different. To make sure that you meet their needs, and when you see a child is doing ballet or painting,
Whatever their skills are,
you have to encourage it, and I did. And I did 100%.
But so 1 minute. So with you and me, in the beginning, when I was only new in the world and we were getting to know each other. So you thought at the age of 6 or 7, you wanted to encourage me to be a wrestler, a boxer and a soccer player.
Absolutely.
How did that work out for you?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
What happened?
Your mother and I got ready for you to go to the soccer match.
I remember it well.
Right. Your mother cleaned and
Pressed
pressed
my soccer uniform, yes.
and I cleaned her shoes.
You did indeed.
And finally you got to soccer match, right? And soccer match is 10 people, and the 11th is the goalkeeper. And you didn't want to be in front.
No.
Attacker.
No. Too much work.
Too much work. So we were number 2. At the time, number 2 was a right fullback. Right. So you stood there, and when the opposite people were coming,
I ran the other way, right?
You didn't run away. You stood.
So the balls went through my. It wasn't my proudest times, but the secret then though was that you somehow were able to get through that because you would have dreamt all your life when you you told me to get through the Holocaust. You knew you were going to survive it, and you were going to have a family, and you dreamt of a son, which happened to have been then me.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly what you dreamt, is it? Reg, be honest.
You got the honest question is answer is it's a Hebrew word, and it's in the Bible.
Are we getting religious moment?
Hasameach b'chakol. You got to be happy with what you get.
Listen, what could he do? I wasn't going to play soccer. I wasn't going to do
true.
boxing. I wasn't. No, I have to tell you, you have been amazing. You have been amazing because it wasn't exactly the same.
But I got you on Rodas.
You got me one? Yeah, no, but overall,
yes.
You had to be flexible with what my qualities were.
Absolutely.
And here we are today. Yeah. Okay. What's your opinion of women who have to take on the role of both father and mother? What's the advice that you can give women? That's the wrong page, Reggie. The role of women and those women that have to take on the role of being both father and mother, because that's interesting, I think.
They've got to be yourselves.
Be yourself.
Yourself.
So does that mean they should not try to be a father or a mother, just be themselves?
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it?
And you have to be patient.
Yeah, but the thing was, I think as we were discussing it, you're saying to me not to take the pressure off because there's so much pressure with single families, single parent families.
She's not going to try to be a mother and father because she'll never succeed.
Because she has to succeed in being herself, right?
Yes.
Why should she be trying to be your father?
So she should be herself.
Just herself, and not to put the pressure on herself.
None, because otherwise she'll get sick.
Yeah, because the thing is, I've never actually asked some of my friends are single parent families, and I've never asked them about what kind of pressures, because they don't even discuss it. It's not even because they're themselves. It's good advice. Mr. Weinreich, what did you learn from the Holocaust that you have applied today on being a man of the house. What did you learn?
Don't compromise.
Don't compromise.
Correct. Be yourself and stand for your values.
So I think the thing is, we just recently finished off the chapter where the rabbis or whatever were saying one thing about the Holocaust and that you can stay and you're going to be safe, and you, even though they were the head authorities, you questioned them.
Absolutely.
And your father actually encouraged you to be a strong individual and not to take on board just what people are saying.
Absolutely. He encouraged me, and he saw
You had your independent spirit.
Strong
Yeah.
as a child.
And that came to me.
And as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
today is the 1st of September.
1st of September 2019, yes.
Father's Day.
Yes.
And 80 years ago, first the war started.
I think the thing that I want to emphasize about our memoir and what we're doing is that I call it a journey back in time and a direction forward. So as we're going through it, obviously, my job is you're giving me the golden nuggets of the story. I need to filter it and make sure that the messages that you've taught me are conveyed in the memoir. So that's why I was up really late last night writing. Well, yeah, it was good. It was good. But I tell you, do you know what's something so interesting? So we have somebody helping us in New York, Kim Taylor, with the editing, and I've got I've got a great team of people. Paris Cutler, Kim Taylor. I've got my secret reader in Canada. I have no excuse for it not to be good. And interestingly enough, guys, when I'm doing the chapters, I actually feel like I'm there, and we get like energy coming into the book. So. And Kim is fastidious. Like, this woman is she's got me covered. She knows when I've done whatever it is. And she sends me a message, very flustered. And she says to me, I don't know what happened. You sent me the emails with the finished, the rabbis and the riddles. I can't find it anywhere. I said, oh, that's the rabbis. She has never in her life lost a document, not even lost a document. So I'm telling you, I said to her, no, that's normal. That's normal. The rabbis are not happy with what we've necessarily written. She said, I'm completely freaked out. Where did it go? I said, listen, if we try and work out where it went, it's not going to be a good ending. Let's keep moving. But your mother and I connected when I've been writing the chapter called A Little Bit Too Familiar. Granny and I bonded over 2 chapters, and so she's helping me. So I have a team that actually are here on planet Earth, and I also have a team. I do. And it was really, really interesting about that. Did you know that happened? She said, you have to send it. And she was embarrassed. I said, don't be embarrassed. The rabbis just took it out of your system. That's all. It's really interesting. Okay. So what did the Holocaust, so we talked about the final question. Did God allocate you the right son?
I have to think about it very clearly.
Astro Boy will help you.
I can't answer the question
immediately. No. I have an idea how you could.
Next session.
Okay. I have an idea how you could. You see, maybe I can buy a positive answer because it's Father's Day.
Oh my God.
In Australia, not anywhere else in the world, Australia and New Zealand. I've got this for you.
What is this?
We'll open it up and have a look. It's fantastic.
Oh my God.
You're going to love it. And for those of you who are celebrating, or on whatever level, whether it's women who are both fathers and mothers, single parenting, all different sorts of situations, and hopefully those people that are not feeling it too difficult if their father is not around for whatever reason, we wanted to make this a really inclusive session today. No, this is fantastic. So look at it. We'll show everybody what you got.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Now, the reason I got my father this gift was because I got all these free samples. No, I didn't. That's a joke. This is fantastic stuff. And I thought, you know what? I have to be a bit diplomatic at some point. This I got for Mum, and this is bloody brilliant lipstick. And she got 1 million. I got that for Mum.
She'll love it.
She will love it.
Sure.
Because you can't sort of like single people out. I don't think.
She'll love it.
And these are all the samples. So, Reggie.
Thank you very much.
So now that you've got the gift, did God allocate you the right son?
I've got no doubt about it.
Honestly, fantastic. Good on you, Reggie. Good on you. Okay, well, so thank you, all of you, those people that have joined us.
This is fantastic.
We hope that you gained a little bit of an insight into the interaction we're having. It's probably the best thing I've ever done in my life. Are you enjoying it?
Oh,
It's incredible, isn't it?
I love it.
So after we finish this little show, we are going down the road to print the next chapter.
So
Yes.
from all this, you'll find out who you are.
But but it's not just about me. We need to we need to have the memoir that resonates. We're interested in us, but we want people to be interested for themselves, and that's why your experience, if you ask me, my opinion, the whole thing is not only I'm going to find out about your experience, but because you've got golden nuggets, lessons of life, my responsibility is to take it on board for me, but to
share with
to pull it out,
absolutely.
pull it out, so that's what it's all about. It absolutely is. We know the Holocaust exists. Most people know the Holocaust exists. That's not the whole. The crux is your values, how you lived your life, the way you were able to face fear, the way you were able to contain strength. You were the head of the household at 12 and a half years old. You saw atrocities. So I'm learning how did you deal with it, because a lot of people are going through transition. I'm one of them, where you get 50 plus and you think I've done a lot in my life. What's my next thing? And that's why we're not only am I retaining your story for that purpose, but also as a guide on what I should be doing next in my life after I do this editing. Got it?
Yeah. Now I've got to.
What do I do?
I've got to get a person to carry this stuff for me because it's very heavy.
Oh, you need a concierge. I'll call the concierge to downstairs. I think we've gathered long enough. Thank you all very much. It's an absolute
Thank you.
pleasure. I will check all your messages.
I
Please.
enjoyed it immensely.
You know,
And I love
you wouldn't know where I got my love of being on the stage, would you? No. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
All the
Whatever you're
best.
doing,
Keep
take care
well.
for now. Bye from us.